belong to the micro category. But if you look at employment, ang pinakamalaki pong employers natin belong to the large enterprise category. Almost 47% of jobs in NCR, they are employed by large enterprises. And sa micro, 20%. So, kung titignan po natin, marami pa rin nagtatrabaho sa large enterprises. Pagdating naman po sa distribution ng establishments and employment, sa establishments, marami pa rin po sa large. And most ng employment po natin sa NCR nagtatrabaho sa service sector. 84.5% of jobs in NCR, they work in one way or another for a service enterprise. Pinakakonti na lang po, agriculture, mostly based sa Nabotas, mga fisher po natin doon. Alright, and industry, we have 14% po. Nasa manufacturing, construction, etc. And then, also part of the review, we look at the wage rates. 695, pinakamataas pa rin po sa NCR. Yung wage last year, or wage order NCR 26. Malapit na po ang ating mga kalapit na provinces. Ang Region 3 at 4 ay 600 na po. And susunod si Region 6 at 550. The goal po here is to gradually converge all rates sa hinihingi po na national wage na lang po. Pero as of this moment, if you look the FIES or the Family Income and Expenditure Survey, ibang-iba pa rin po ang cost of living kada region. Ang layo ng gap ng NCR sa 3 and 4A. Almost 60,000 a year po ang gap ng kailangang pera para mabuhay sa NCR versus sa 3 and 4A. Lalo na po sa other regions. The current wage rates actually reflect the current cost of living ng bawat region. Pinakamura pa rin po sa region 5 Bicol. Medyo mas mura pa rin. Pwede silang mamulot ng bukol. And then, poverty threshold, this is part of the internal rules of the NWPC. Ideally, ang minimum wage ng isang region ay mas mataas sa kanyang poverty threshold sa NCR, 517 po, at mas mababa sa average wage po for the region. So, in terms of that, compliant naman po ang ating wage orders sa ganyan po. It is above the poverty threshold and it is below the average wage. Even with the new wage rate, pasok pa rin po. 755 tayo and 780 later on. The number of workers to benefit from this, tinignan po ito ng ating board members, 1,122,000 minimum wage earners will benefit from a wage hike. And more than that, almost 2 million yung tatamaan po ng corrections from wage distortion, which I will discuss with you later dahil marami pong contribution pagdating sa wage distortion. So key dates, ito po napakahalaga ng ating mga dates pagdating sa isang wage order. Ang dami po naging hindi pagkakaunawaan tungkol dito. Nagkaroon ng cancel daw, pina-defer daw, pina-postpone. Pero ito po yung katotohanan yun. The wage order was issued on June 3, 2026. No? That was the same day that we deliberated. That same day nag-issue ng bagong wage order ang RTWPB NCR. That same day, sinabit po ito sa NWPC. It was approved by the National Wages and Productivity Commission June 25, 2026. Ngayon, kung titignan po natin yung wage orders, alagay po natin yan sa fourth page, effectivity. It becomes effective 15 days after its date of publication from a newspaper of general circulation. Ito po, ganito. Nandiyan po, pagdating po natin sa effectivity, section 7. So, dyan ko po lilinawin yung kumalat na news. Kasi na-i-announce mistakenly ng July 19. However, due to technical reasons na beyond our control, force majeure nga, sabi ng isang senador doon, na force majeure yung publication kasi, so hindi po natuloy yung July 3. Na-publish po yung wage order, July 9 na, Philippine Star, Business Section page B6, at dahil po sa rule na 15 days after its date of publication, ano po, naging July 25 po ang effectivity ng bagong wage order. Okay po tayo, wala nang questions about that. May questions po ba? Rather, about it. Ano, next na yun. Right. Okay po. So nasagot ko na. Buti naman. So ang bago natin minimum wage rates for agriculture, again, like I meant, this wage order, sabi nga naman ni ma'am, divided into 2 tranches, 85 pesos po ang total na increase. Ang unang tranche, 60 pesos, that starts on July 25. Okay? 60 pesos. Meron po tayong dalawang klaseng sector pagdating sa wage order natin for NCR. Meron po tayong non-agricultural rate na mas mataas. Para naman po, baka po mas bagay ito sa mga members ng SMEC, or sa inyo parang non-agri na, if I'm not mistaken, ang rates po nila. Pero for smaller businesses, mas mababa po ng konti ang rate. Meron po tayong agriculture, yung mga fishers po natin, engage in agribusinesses, they fall under 658 before, 718 for this wage order. Meron din po service retail establishments employing 15 workers or less. Tandaan po natin ang definition po sa Omnibus Rules on Minimum Wage Determination, ang service or retail establishment, ang category or sector po na ito is engaged in the sale of goods or services for personal or household use. Ayan po. So, para po bigyan ko kayo konting example, kunwari po coffee shop, ang clients ay walk-in at orders through Shopee or online orders. Foodpanda, ayan po, Grab o kung ano man po. Yan po ang kanilang rate. Okay po. 718, mas mababa po. Pero kung ang coffee shop po na ito nag-i-engage, nagbebenta ng beans to other coffee shops, nag-wholesale na po, or baka naman ni client na corporate, sinusupply nila lahat ng coffee ng Triumph Square Building, for example, sa maghapon. Hindi na po sila service or retail. They have a wholesale component. Hindi na po sila for personal or household use. They fall, even if they're a service or retail establishment employing 10, non-agri po ang rate nila. Kasi they have a wholesale component. Sa manufacturing establishment ito po, regularly employing less than 10, ang ibig sabihin po ng regularly employing ay for an aggregate period of no more than 6 months in a year. Halimbawa po, nag-hire lang during Christmas season para mahabol yung mga orders ng herb chicken or empanada or ilamam, yung mga kamote chips. Okay po? Kapag hinahire nyo sila ng aggregate period of less than 6 months, ito po ang rate nila. As no more than 10. Okay po tayo? May tanong po, kahapon lang, nagalit yung kausap ko, gasolinahan po sila. Ang employees daw nila, 4 lang. Ini-insist niya na 4 lang ang worker ko. Dapat ang sweldo ko ay 718. Bakit naman sa tingin po ninyo hindi? They are a gasoline station na. Pero let's not look at the capitalization. Di po ba gasoline station pwede din ang clients is other businesses or LGUs? Diba? So, that brings them to the higher wage rate. At pagdating po ng second tranche, January 20, 2027, you'll get the additional 22 pesos, 780 na po after January 20. At 743 naman sa ating next bracket. Okay po tayo? Clear po tayo sa definition ng service retail, manufacturing.
Sir, yung sa mga nasa construction services, kagaya ng mga tile setters, mga under sila sa services, mga 718 papatak sila.
Mga construction po?
Oo.
Sa higher rate po sila na non-agri.
Non-agri ang kanila.
Minimum talaga to.
Ganun ko.
Higher po dapat ang rate kasi nga naman meron din po tinatawag na progressive wage model na ini-introduce ang NWEC specifically for workers in the construction section or sector. Ang idea po ng progressive wage model is the more skilled the construction worker gets, the higher his wage.
So kung ang trabahador, sir, kung trabahador ko is piyon, nandun siya sa 755 ang pinakawa niya.
Sa bagong rate po siya.
Okay.
Kasi nga naman, pwedeng i-hire kayo ng other companies to work in theirs. Hindi naman po for service or... Itindigan po natin yan later sa mga coverage.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Ma'am, ay sir, sa micro-business po, ano pong magiging rate niya? Depende.
Sa micro-business, ano po yan? Next slide po. Answer ko na po yung sa susunod. Okay po.
Mamalaki company yan.
Opo, susunod na po yan.
Hindi yan yung para sa akin.
Opo, hindi pa po yan.
Ang laki niya.
And next na natin. So under the present administration po, RTWPB NCR has given a total of 210 pesos cumulative daily wage increase. So 40 pesos po nung wage order NCR 24, 35 nung NCR 25, 50 last year po, and then 85 for the present wage order. So medyo, ayun po, obvious naman yung percentages, medyo malaki po. So, pwede po mag-appeal sa wage order. May mga nag-file po na labor group. Isa lang po. Diba? Lucky, fortunately, isa lang. You can file an appeal. This is for just for your knowledge. Your co-op can actually file po for an appeal as well. You have 10 days from the publication of the wage order. The deadline is passed, July 19. This is for your knowledge lang. Baka po next year gusto nyo file na pag nagkaroon ng gusto nyo na kami file you have 10 days from the publication. Ito po yung covered po natin yung tanong ni ma'am. Ang coverage po ng minimum wage law is all minimum wage earners in the private sector in the National Capital Region, regardless of their position, designation, or status of employment, and irrespective of the method by which they are paid. What does that mean? Lahat ng private sector sa NCR, casual man yan, probationary, contractual, yan po ang kanilang sahod. Regardless din sa kung sila ay peace rate, Pacquiao, Takay, mga terms mo yan. Hindi sila dapat uuwi lang mas bababa sa either 755 or 780. Ito, masasagot ko na yung tanong niyo. Sino hindi covered? Kasambahay domestic workers, bakit? Meron sila ito, 361, or kasambahay law. Doon naman kami nag-aaral ng minimum wage para sa kasambahay. Sino po mga hindi kasambahay sa bahay? Wala po.
House.
Ay, lahat. Sir, kasi ang gusto ko kasi i-hire is yung on-area, maliit na kasi bahay namin, yung store din namin maliit. So like, pwede ba yun?
Papaliwanag ni Ma'am Aprin yung later pagdating sa general labor standards. Pero ang minimum wage rate po ng monthly minimum wage ng ating kasambahay sa NCR, 7,800. Inaman.
70.
70 po. Yes po. Yun po ang ating minimum wage rate po sa mga. Wala pa. Wow, swerte yung worker mo.
Pero, matagal naman po sir sa amin, kaya umabot siya sa gano'n kasi minsan.
Very good, very good. Compliance si ma'am. And another not covered by the minimum wage law is persons in the personal service of another. Kunwari, nag-hire ako ng tagabuhat ko ng gamit. for
PA.
example,
Mga PA.
Temporarily, hindi.
Hindi naman. On-call. Yung
Mga on-call, hindi. Tagalinis kunwari ng tinitira namin once a week. Kaya hindi po. Di ba po ang rate nila? And ito yung tanong ni ma'am. Automatically, hindi kayo covered if you are a barangay micro-business enterprise. Note, dapat valid yung certificate of authority. Baka naman nung year 2010 pa yan, hindi nyo na-renew sa DTI, you will be violating the labor code this way.
Pag OPC, sir. Operation, one-person corporation.
Depende pa rin po. Sa DTI pa rin po, maganda, i-register na rin po para mahagit din mamabrin yung later. Kung set po ba yung office? So sa DTI ito ma'am. Like kinuha ng BNB. Kaya yung mga next learnings po natin, pinapakit na ni DTI NCRO Regional Director yung DTI to explain that yun. So, ito pagdating naman po sa wage order, brand new po ito sa tingin ko kala sir. Ito in-attend nila sa dito, which is order sa kanina. Bago po sa mga wage order na lalabas, although nauuna po, nagkataon lang na nauuna ang NCR. Hindi naman po dahil kami yung National Capital Region, it just so happened na we are the first region always to release a wage order. From this wage order and all the rest that will come out for the other regions, may bagong whereas clause related to wage order. Related to wage distortion. Nakalagay na po, na klarong-klaro na pinapaalalahanan na po ang lahat na kapag may wage distortion na nangyari, maaaring lumapit sa amin, RTWPB, NCR, kung paano itatama ang wage distortion. Pinapaalalahanan din ng enterprises na maaaring yung dalawin ng NWPC Advisory Number 1, Series of 23, para maging guide sa pag-correct ninyo ng wage distortion. At maaari din kayo mag-develop ng sariling formula para itama ang wage distortion. Usually kasi before, a lot of enterprises na even last training namin, meron malaki sila electric provider sa iba-ibang region, hindi po nila alam na kailangan i-correct ang wage distortion. This year pa lang sila natutunan ito, pero 10 years in operation na po yung enterprise. At nag-expand na sila sa 4A and 4B. Noon lang nila natutunan. So, medyo catch up yung HR nila to correct wage distortions. Ngayon, clearly nakalagay na po yan. Na-incorporate na po sa wage orders. Meaning, clearly, if there is a wage distortion, you need to correct it. And you may seek guidance from our office, refer to NWPC advisory, or develop your own formula. Alright? Pagdating naman po sa peace raters, dahil last year, yung isang sikat na senador, ang gigil siya dito sa peace rate na to. So ngayon, ang nangyari, also added into the wage order, any enterprise issued with a valid peace rate order by RTWTB NCR. Before kasi kapag meron kang peace rate order, i-review po ninyo yan. I-incorporate yung bagong wage rate, dadala nyo sa amin, na-aprobahan. Ngayon, hindi na po. You may automatically adjust the wage rate. Para wala kayong peace rate worker na huwi ng mas mababa sa 755 sa isang araw. Ma-reach man niya ang quota or hindi. Yun dapat ang sweldo niya pa. And, pero kapag nagbago ang process, technology, method, or materials, ayan po. That is the only time that you will have a new time and motion study. You will ask guidance from our board, and then for the adjustment of the piece rate. Now, that is if you are a micro, small, or medium enterprise. Large enterprises using piece rate, they must hire the industrial engineer to conduct the time and motion study. Pang MSME po kasi, ayan po si Ms. Lucy, siya po ang nag-a-assist yan pag sa NCR. Pag large, you must consult with your own industrial engineer. Okay po tayo? Any questions so far? Yun, very good. Hindi na akong tanongin. Pagdating naman po sa family or household drivers, simple na naman po, the civil code covers the compensation of household drivers. Hindi po labor code pagdating po dyan. Meron po dyan, naglabas po ng resolution ng NWPC about that. Meron din pong case, Atienza versus Saluta, I forgot the general registry number. Yan po, civil code po, pagdating sa household drivers. Pero company drivers, tandaan po natin ang household. Kunwari ako, nag-hire ako ng driver ko. Civil code ay nang po-cover ng kanyang compensation. Pagdating sa corporate drivers, labor code na po tayo ulit. So if you have a company driver, okay na sir, i-driver po sila. Labor code, meaning 755 po ang yun. In a day. Ito naman po, ayan, kung hindi kayo pasok sa BNBE, yung tanong nyo mga OPC, baka naman po, pwede kayong magpa-exempt. Meron pong 2 acceptable categories. Retail service establishments regularly employed not more than 10. Same po yung definition natin ng service retail. Walang wholesale. Just the other day, meron po nagpunta dito, nagpa-franchise sila ng mga takoyahan. Pero sila yung nagpapa-franchise. So, by definition, di ba natin ang service retail, hindi po sila pwedeng magpa-accept. Kasi sila yung nagpapa-franchise.
Okay. Supplier.
So, kumbaga, siya B2B, tama sila po yung nagsusupply. Pero ang naging suggestion po dyan is yung franchisees na mag-a-apply na isa. Meaning, busy kami this point forward. Ang sa deadline ito, ang dami nila magpapa-accept. And the second part, sana huwag lang mangyari sa NCR, yung mga establishments adversely affected by natural calamities and or human disasters. So, like I said, retail service establishment must be engaged in the retail sale of goods and or services to end users for personal or household use. Okay po, kaya galit na galit yung gasolinahan na gusto mong pa-extend. Diba? Alam, afford mo ka magkagasolinahan. Sino po ba maniniwala dyan? You are
Malaki
able to afford the facilities magpagasolinahan.
Malaki ang
sa
kinikita.
NCR, tapos ayaw mo magbayad ng 755.
Ang laki ng kinikita niya.
Common sense, yes po. And regularly employee, like I mentioned, you employ for an aggregate period at least 6 months in a college. So ito po yung checklist natin sa retail services establishment. I'll just flash the QR na lang po. Para mas pala. So you can take note kung gusto nyo mag-apply, nandiyan po yung checklist ng ating. Just pinaghiwalay lang po namin yung retail sa ka-service. Kung kailangan po ninyong copies yan, alin po, retail or service? Papa-prepare po. Pareho. Huwag na yung calamity ang nagano pa calamity.
Yan lang po.
Alright po. Miss Maru, nagano po pa-prepare na ano? Checklist ng retail sa ka-service. Lahat na lang sila.
Thank you.
Calamities.
Huwag na yung calamity. Napaka-lungkot mo. Pagdating naman po, just a little something about establishments adversely affected by calamities. Meron pong dalawang criteria. Hindi naman po pwede i-claim nyo na calamity yung kaninang sa slide ko noong 2014 na declaration. Kailangan, first of all, may declaration of state of calamity at nangyari 6 months prior sa effectivity ng wage order. Meaning, prior halimbawa po, may nangyari kagaya ngayon, ulan ng ulan, nag-declare sila ng state of calamity. Bukas, for example lang, kung naman saan nangyari. You cannot file for an exemption for that. Yung 60 kasi lumakad na po. But, you can file for an exemption from the next tranche. Sa January 20 na po. Okay? Kasi it says that must have occurred within 6 months prior to the wage order's effectivity. But since the first tranche of wage order number NCR 27 is already effective, you cannot file for an exemption from that using this category. You can, however, file for an exemption for the second tranche on January 20. Okay po? Any questions po related dito? Sir? I-share din po namin ito sa inyo. Maraming reference po kayo. Nandito po yung checklist. Of course, mas maraming chinicheck. Pagdating sa adversely affected by natural calamities, marami pong hinihingi. Siyempre, you need to prove na nag-declare ng calamity sa inyong area. Very important as well is the period of filing. You can file within 75 days from the date of publication of the wage order, or the deadline is September 22, 2026. So if your enterprise medyo nahihirapan, gawa ng mga problema, for example, in the Middle East, and you need to apply for an exemption, you have until September 22, 2026 to file the exemption. Hindi po extension, wala na po extension dito. Ang duration po ng exemption, 1 year from the effectivity of the wage order. Meaning, if you file for an exemption at na-grant, effective ito hanggang July 24, 2027. Harap po tayo. 1 year lang po. Ang tinitingnan lang po yung buhay ng current wage order. After that, ibibigay nyo na po yung tamang rate. Okay? Magkano po ibibigay natin kapag may exemption? 658. Yung rate for wage order number NCR 26. The rate prior to the wage order rate applied for exemption. Okay po tayo? Any questions sa exemption? Meron po bang interesado mag-file ng exemption? Para papa-assist ko na kayo later. Wala naman, yes. Hindi po kayo.
Lahat check.
So yung mga tanong po nito, ito yesterday kasi kunwari daw nagbibigay ng, actually nagulat ako dito, taga-GMA yung nagtanong. Meron daw silang allowance sa GMA. Gusto nilang tanggalin yung allowance na yun, ibibigay na lang sa minimum, itadagdag sa minimum wage. Meron po kasing Article 100 yung Labor Code. So, any benefit already being received by employees cannot be reduced, withdrawn, or eliminated. Yung allowance, hindi pwedeng gamitin para mag-offset ng wage increase. Okay? So, kailangan dagdagan po yung basic to worker. Hindi po pwedeng i-classify si allowance at the minimum wage. Okay po? Ay, mas may explain po yan ng next speaker natin. So, ano naman, ito, proceed na po ako dito sa wage distortion. I just wanted to flash this po. Ito po yung advisory na I mentioned. NWPC Advisory Number 1, Series of 2023 on correcting wage distortion. Medyo maraming page po eh. Medyo. Please scan na lang po. Okay na po? Parang kaya sir, parang ito yung concern na yun. So, balik tayo sa wage. And wala na pong question about sa wage order NCR 27.
No.
Klaro naman po sa lahat. Opo. Na yung sa mga tanong sa tips, okay na po. No? Marami nagalit doon. So, clear na po tayo doon. Ang effectivity after the date, 15 days after the date of publication. At one thing na gusto ko rin po, lalo na po sa mga HR, ang ibig ko sabihin, so for right now, after the effectivity, inaaral lang po namin ang socio-economic conditions. Meaning, is it possible na magkaroon na naman ng wage order 28 sa susunod na taon? Possible. Kasi aaralin, titingnan. Meaning, ang dami kasi yung nagiging concern is bakit hindi kami nakaprepare, hindi namin alam. That's why the DOLE and its attached agencies kasama kami, we try to orient the public para alam nyo na, aralin nyo na yung plotting for next year. Sabi nga ng participant last time sa QC, yung co-op daw kasi na isa hindi raw nakapag-prepare, they filed the budget. Sabi naman, sila ang sumagot yung member ng another co-op na when you do your budget, dapat nagpa-plan ka ng possible wage increase. Kasi alam na natin na every year maaaring magkaroon. Maaaring magtaas. So kung magpa-plan ka po kayo for next year, please try to include na baka magkaroon ng wage increase. Hindi namin alam po, of course, wala naman nakakaalam kung magkano yan. Napaka-volatile at dynamic po ng economic conditions natin. Mamaya magkaroon na naman ng bagong conflict. Mamaya matigil na yung current conflict. Hindi po ba? So, yeah. Be very aware po na maaaring magkaroon ng ganyan. Ngayon po yung mga checklist pinamimigay po ni Ms. Ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Ma'am. So, I'll proceed na po sa part 2, wage distortion. So again, mas marami pa po sa mga minimum wage earners natin sa NCR ang apektado ng wage distortion. Almost 2 million po ang affected ng wage distortion. Ang daming complications ito pagdating sa mga HR natin, accountants, budget officers. Let us first of all define wage distortion. When does this happen? When a mandated wage increase results in the elimination or severe contraction of intentional quantitative difference in wage or salary rates between employee groups in an establishment. And when distinctions in the wage structure based on skills, length of service, or other logical basis of differentiation are effectively obliterated. Tandaan po natin very clear, mandated wage increase. Let's take an example. For example, si company ABC, they decided dagdagan natin yung minimum wage ng ating entry-level workers. So yung minimum wage earners nila, binigyan na nila wage increase. Si company ABC sila nag-initiate. Is this wage order, yes or no? Sino nagsasabi yes, pakitaas ang kamay? Para klaro, sino nagsasabi no, pakitaas ang kamay?
Ano sir? Pakiulit.
Ulitin ko po, si company ABC nag-decide na bigyan ng wage increase ang kanilang minimum wage earners. Company ABC po ang nag-decide, initiative po ng company. Wage order po ba ito? Yes or no? Sinong sumasagot ng yes? Pagtaas na kamay. Yung no, para lang sura ka nag-isip pa kayo lahat na halos lahat. Klaro naman po, di ba? Mandated wage increase po dapat. Pag company initiative or company initiated, hindi po, it's not wage distortion. Okay po, and kapag nagbura-bura, meaning lalo na sa mga medyo malalaking companies, di ba? Iba-ibang pay grades, pag nagdikit-dikit na po, that is when wage distortion happens. Ito also important to define intentional quantitative difference. This is usually done through the nature of task, Halimbawa po, syempre, si accountant, mas mataas ang sahod niyan sa administrative assistant. Iba ang kanyang task. Iba rin yung kanyang skills. Iba rin yung kanyang education and training. Diba? Maari din pagdating sa accountant, merong junior, merong mid, merong accountant lang, merong senior accountant based on the length of the service. And also, meron na sigurong chief accountant due to the scope of responsibility and authority and the years of related experience. This is how you differentiate workers in any enterprise. So, kailangan malaman din natin, like sabi nga ng definition, elimination or severe contraction ng intentional differences. We need to identify what is elimination. Elimination happens when the previous differential or gap no longer exists. Meaning, for example, let's take an enterprise minimum wage earner earning $695. The next higher level earns $750. Nagkaroon ng effective na si wage order. Ano pong nangyari? Di ba na-eliminate yung gap na 55 pesos? At kalamangan pa siya ng 5 pesos. So, that is elimination. Severe contraction naman, this is when nagdikit po yung sahod nila. It happens when more than 50% of the intended quantitative difference between the two groups of workers is lost. Okay? So, for distortion to exist, kailangan ba ibalik natin ang dating gap? Halimbawa, dati ang gap 100 pesos. Kailangan ba pag kinorek natin yung wage distortion, 100 pa rin ang gap? The law says, or jurisprudence says that no. A significant is enough. Okay po? Meron din 4 elements ang wage distortion. You have an existing hierarchy of positions with corresponding salary rates. There is a significant change in the salary rate of a lower pay class na hindi mo naman dinagdagan yung mga sumusunod na pataas. At na-eliminate yung distinction between the two levels. And most importantly, wage distortion happens in the same region. Meaning, for example, let's take another company. Let's take, for example, company ABC. Meron siyang branches all across the nation. From Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, all the regions natin. Merong company ABC. Nagkaroon ng wage increase sa NCR, so naging 755 yung kanilang mga minimum wage earners. Tapos nagreklamo ng wage distortion yung mga nasa region 3 and 4A. Hindi po. Wage distortion happens in the same region lang po. Let's take for example yung mga workers sa 7-Eleven. Diba yung rate? They can only claim for this wage distortion within NCR lang po. Hindi kasama yung taga-region 3A, 3, 4A, 4B, etc. Okay po? Let's take A, typical company structure po. Kasi A ang ating entry level or minimum wage earners. Diba usually yung vertical po tayo sa enterprises, lalo na if you work at a small or medium or large enterprise, you have your entry level workers, you have your next and up, they may be supervisors na po. Then you have managers, executives, etc. And so hanggang owner na po yan, or board of directors. That's a typical company structure. And of course, in any typical company structure, meron pong iba-ibang salary rates. The entry levels or the ones below, they earn the minimum wage or slightly above the minimum wage. At papataas po na papataas ang kanilang mga wages. So that's true naman po, di ba? Sa mga nakapag-work sa enterprises. We'll remember this kasi yan po ang ating magiging examples sa computations ng wage distortion adjustment. So, is it mandatory to correct wage distortion? Kapag po, like I've mentioned, kapag voluntary or company initiated, hindi na po. On voluntary wage adjustment, the mere existence of distortion does not automatically create an obligation to rectify it. Absent a law or other source of the obligation requiring rectification. But, if the wage distortion arises from a wage order, kailangan na po natin i-correct. Ayan po yung jurisprudence natin. So, mandatory? Yes. Kasi ang wording po natin ay, when a prescribed wage increase under a law or wage order results in distortion of the wage structure within an establishment, sa employer, ito po kapag union na shall. Meaning, kailangan po natin itama. Hindi po siya optional, hindi na siya may. Kapag wala naman po union, workers po ang makipag-negotiate sa employers para i-correct ang wage distortion. Sir, unionize po ba kayo, sir? Union po kayo? Sa inyo, ma'am? Wala naman. O kayo makipag-negotiate? Kayo po ba personally affected ang wage distortion? Hindi, ikaw mismo, ma'am. Kayo po, sir, ma'am. Hindi. Affected kayo? Hindi naman. Ano ba? So, yes nga po. So, ang procedures natin, if you're an organized, meaning union, the employer and the union negotiates. Kapag po, within say, pagka nagkaroon ng dispute, you settle it through your CBA grievance procedure. Kapag hindi pa rin nasolve, nagkakaroon po ng voluntary arbitration. For unorganized firms naman, employers and workers shall negotiate. Kapag hindi pa rin nagkasundo, dadating na po sa NCMB or National Conciliation Mediation Board for mediation through the single entity approach or SENA. Kapag hindi pa rin nagkakaroon na po ng compulsory arbitration, so that's through the NLRC. So, kailangan po bang i-restore like I was mentioning the original graph? Hindi naman po. Significant gap is enough na po to address that. Pwede po ba mag-strike, gawa ng wage distortion? Alam na ni sir yung sagot? Hindi po. Non-strikeable po ang wage distortion. Kailangan kay workers receive the prescribed wage rates, pending resolution? Yes, without delay. Sabi nga po ng Article 124, the pendency of a dispute arising from a wage distortion shall not in any way delay the applicability of any increase in prescribed wage rates pursuant to the provisions of law or wage order. Okay po tayo. So, sample po tayo. If you want to compute along, please go ahead. Ito pa ang ating example. Si administrative staff, sila po yung ating employee A, sila yung ating lowest paid workers. Ang wage nila, $6.95 po, bago naging effective si Wage Order 27. And pagdating po sa wage distortion, ang recommendation po is you do the computations by tranche. Opo, and then, klaro po tayo dyan. Although if you want, like I mentioned, if you want to compute strength na 85, pwede naman po yun. Wala naman kung batas na nagbabawas yun tungkol na kwentahin na diretso sa 85, pwede naman. Okay? And another suggestion po, sa mga may mga IT kayo sa staff, marunong kayo mag-Excel or mag-Google Sheet, pwede nyo nang i-plot po yung formula sa Google Sheet para hindi ulit-ulit yung compute. Papalitan nyo na lang yung values, lalabas na kung magkano. Ayun po yung ginagawa ng under enterprise na tinulungan namin. Tinulungan namin maggawa ng sheet. Nilalagay lang nila yung values, lumalabas na. Kung magkano yung bagong sahod, magkano yung wage distortion adjustment, magkano yung magiging yung salary ng mga affected. So, tuloy lang po sa ating example. Ang susunod ay accounting assistant. Sila accounting assistant, like I was mentioning, di ba? Meron pagkakaiba sa skill kasi accounting graduate lang si accounting assistant. Si administrative assistant lang, college graduate, hindi pa required ang work experience. Versus si accounting assistant, kailangan may 1 year related experience na. No? Kasama na po ang paggagawa ng mga legal requirements. Susunod pa ulit, si accountant, CPA na dapat siya. May 2 years experience, kasama na po ang paggawa ng mga financial analysis at tax compliance. Meron po bang intentional quantitative differences? Kita-kita naman. Nandiyon ang educational background. Nandun ang skills.
Years of
Nandun ang experience. Clear, di ba? Sa administrative staff, 695. Example lang po ito. After the first tranche, 755 na sila. Ang susunod natin, si accountant assistant, 760 ang kanilang wage. And then si accountant CPA, 865 na po bago wage order CR 27. So, meron po bang wage distortion between the two? Paano natin malalaman? Meron bang gap?
5 pesos.
5 pesos na lang. Before, magkano po gap? 65.
65, oh, 65.
Pesos po. Is this elimination?
Distortion.
Hindi. Ang nangyari po ba dito ay elimination ng kanilang gap or contraction?
Halos contraction eh. Magkadikit na halos eh.
Ang dikit. Eh kung ano po ito, 750.
Elimination.
and contraction.
Elimination na yun.
Klarang-klaro. Eliminate kasi nawala.
Nawala na.
Nalamangan pa, 5 pesos. Okay po. Very important po to compute severe contraction. I think, ma'am, sir, ano nyo po? Papakalabangan yung itong formula. Very important is to get the Q, let's call it Q1, or the intended difference. That is you take the current wage rate, yung apektado ng wage distortion, 760. You subtract the current minimum wage, 695.
65.
65.
Aha.
Ayan po yung intended difference. Yung pagkakaiba ng sahod nila bago ang bagong wage worker. Okay po. And then, you take Q2 or the resultant difference. Ito na po yung naging pagkakaiba ng sahod nila bago or after ma-implement ang wage order. So, 760, kunin yung wage nung apektado ng wage distortion. Ibabawas nyo yung bagong minimum wage. Diba? So, you'll get 5 pesos. Ngayon, severe contraction, already answered yes. Kasi, nagdikit na po ang kanilang gap. Ngayon, paano? Like I was mentioning, to compute for contraction, kasi sa example natin, of course, medyo obvious, 760, diba? 5 peso na lang gap. Obviously, this contraction. But to be sure, apply the formula. The formula to compute contraction is Q1, or the intended difference, subtract Q2, or the resultant difference,
5 pesos.
divide by the intended difference, or Q1, multiplied by 100, you'll get the percentage. So sa mga examples po natin, nagra-round up na lang po kami para medyo mas madali. Ang hirap naman ng haba-haba ng number natin sa screen. So, sa example muna po natin, tama kayong lahat nagsagot, it is severe contraction. Paano po ulit? More than 50%, di ba? Our number, when you compute for contraction, is 92.31%. Over 50%. Okay po? So, question lang po, participant. Paano po pag ang lumabas sa atin eksaktong 50? Severe contraction po ba siya or hindi? Kaya po natin yung definition ng severe contraction.
50%?
Saktong 50%. Yan po ating definition.
Oo.
Sakto. Paano kung 50.1 yan?
Pwede na.
Tama, severe na. Kasi,
More than.
sana naman makapag lumabas na lang compute kayo, ma'am sir. Lumabas 50.1, baka naman pwede nyo na pagbigyan. Mawawa naman yung
Kung
Pero,
ilang...
kung titignan nga naman natin yung definition, hindi na kasi, di ba? Kung 50. Kung halimbawa, 49.9 na. Kunti na lang irara.
Discretion na ng kanya.
Discretion na po. Tama si sir. Discretion na po ng management.
Management.
Consider those. Mga baka man, meron dyan 49.99 pa yung lobas. Di pa ako ilabutan, 0.0. Parang grades ko ng college, dati 0.1 na lang. So ayan, mukhang klaro naman po sa lahat. Everyone knows na po You know elimination, you know severe contraction, you know how to compute for this. Okay po tayo?
Okay.
Sir? Ma'am, okay po tayo dyan. Marami po ba? Curious lang ako. Maraming tatamaan. Ito kasi sir, parang oo. Oo, dami ko po compute. So clear na po tayo Again, this will be part of our handouts. I-email ko po sa inyo. So, alam na natin. Elimination, contraction, we already know. What do you think will be the new rate of the worker affected by wage distortion? Yung specifically our accounting assistants. Gagamitin po ba natin yan by billings ka lang or by year? Tandaan po, kung napapanood yung mga videos na pinipray namin during the lunch break, data-driven po tayo dito sa NWPC. We use scientific methods to compute for this. So, proceed na tayo sa formulas. Let's just take the following assumptions. Ang minimum wage earner natin, 695. Ang susunod natin, 760. Nagbigay ng, alam naman na natin lahat, first tranche ng NCR 27 ay 60 pesos. Between the two, may gap na 5 pesos. Alam na natin. Yes, it's by distortion by severe contraction. Okay? Let's look at the first formula or Pineta formula. Today, we'll run through quickly the 6 formulas po hanggang bagtas.